This is the Vermont, a legendary tier American battleship. It is available in the Bureau to research, but first you have to buy it in the store for either 5,000 doubloons or 30 million silver credits. The ship has overpowering 18-inch main guns, and we're going to do a conventional build here, a no-frills build with the setup of the ship and the commander, who is William Sims. Base trait is built to last, which improves the HP per ship tier. And then for inspirations, we have a total accuracy inspiration going here. Andrew Cunningham for concentrated devastation, improves the battleship's main shell grouping. And then Robert Jujard, which improves battleship's armor-piercing shell penetration multiplier. Then for the skills, totally accuracy here, flammable cannoneer, main gun range, and shell grouping is improved, but it is at the risk of catching fire. Then gyrating drill bits, which improves the battleship gun traverse speed and the armor-piercing shell damage, but that is at the risk of the battleship speed, slows that down a little bit. The marksmanship, which improves the main battery dispersion, but that takes a hit on the rudder shift time. Last one is reaching out XXL, which improves the main battery range. And then will to rebuild, we're still using will to rebuild. The amount of HP recovered is 110% here at legendary rank 4, rank 16 legendary rank 4, but the repair party duration takes a hit by 50%, but this is more than compensated for by the 110% of HP recovered. The special effect will auto repair when the HP is equal to or less than 20%, and that is when you're within 3.5 kilometers of an allied ship here at legendary rank 4. All right, let's check out the upgrades. First one is main battery mod 2, which improves the main battery traverse speed. The traverse speed and the reload time on the Vermont are both pretty horrendous, so we have to help that out. Second one is propulsion mod 2. Time taken to reach full power is cut in half, and yeah, even with that, it's still pretty darn slow. Then concealment system mod 1. Detection range is improved by 10%, as is the incoming fire dispersion, and this will double up on your fully upgraded camo. It will really scatter the incoming shots, or at least that's the idea. Last one is artillery plotting room mod 2, which is kind of standard on all American battleships. Main battery dispersion is improved by 10%, and I could go with a legendary or epic mod here, but I haven't done so at this point. Probably will when I complete the Bureau project. Loadout, high explosive and armor piercing, which we'll get into in a bit. And then for the consumables, you have your damage control party. Duration is 20 seconds, reloads every 80 seconds, and there's an unlimited number of those consumables. Repair party will partially restore the ship's HP by repairing any light damage at the rate of 1,117 hit points per second. And that is because we have the commander ranked up at legendary rank 4, 16 legendary rank 4. Duration is 14 seconds and reloads every 80 seconds, and there are 3 of those consumables. Defensive AA fire increases the efficiency of the anti-aircraft fire by 200% when it's running for 40 seconds. Reloads every 3 minutes, and we have 3 of those. All right, and then the next consumable is the catapult fighter to get a little bit extra spotting, and it'll help out if you're in an aircraft carrier match to shoot down the enemy aircraft. I didn't really select the spotter because I haven't really noticed that it's all that effective. And secondaries, there's not much happening on the secondaries on the Vermont, as you'll see in the specs, so I didn't go with the enhanced secondary targeting. So catapult fighter does help out spot incoming torpedoes and other ships, as it turns out. So, all right, boosters, I don't have any boosters going, but that could change depending on the match. Camouflage, I do have a Shadow Premium Permanent Camouflage that I created, but the ship, it doesn't come with any camos, but you can select this historical camo here for 75 buckets of paint and then max it out with 750 more buckets of paint. This is what it looks like. This is what the Shadow camo looks like, and that's what I have gone with. All right, specs, survivability hit points is pretty much big time. At 106,400, armor is 19 to 508 millimeter with a 40% torpedo damage reduction. Artillery, you have 12 18-inch guns that reach out to 20 kilometers with this build. Reload is pretty slow at 36 seconds. Traverse time is 28 seconds, and that's marginally better than average. HE shells have a maximum of 6,100 with a 43% chance of setting fire, so you will set fires with the Vermont. And the armor piercing have a maximum of 15,620, which is pretty big time. And yeah, secondary range is only 5 kilometers, so nothing much going on there. AA defenses, you will clear the sky with the Vermont if you get in to a match with an aircraft carrier player that wants to check that out. Maneuverability, maximum speed is 22.1 knots. Turning circle radius is 850 meters. Rudder shift time is 20 seconds. Concealment is 13.8 kilometers by sea, 11.5 kilometers by air, and 15.7 kilometers if you are firing in the smoke. And here is the armor view, and there is a lot of yellow and purple armor here, so this looks pretty darn good. Let's remove the armor and take a look at the Citadel. I haven't checked this out before. And all right, so that is 34 to 75 millimeter armor, can cause armor-piercing shells to ricochet at appropriate angles and resist HE up to 203 millimeters. So, and then the front here, you are pretty well armored here, so maybe bow tanking would be okay in the ship. Overview, big guns. The ship is armed with high caliber main battery guns, and yeah, 18 inches, pretty much big time high caliber guns. A high number of guns, yeah, 12 main guns. That is awesome, but it is below average maximum movement speed. So what's the deal with the Vermont? Well, during the World War I Dreadnought race, 6 projects for a battleship with maxed out capabilities were created. The engineers were given a lot of room to maneuver with only one limitation. The ship had to be able to go through the Panama Canal. The first project was a bit more conservative than others, featuring 12 high caliber guns in 4 turrets along with exceptionally powerful armor. Year of design was 1945, and there were no ships in the series. All right, well, that's it for the setup of the ship and the commander. Let's go and check out some highlights. All right, so here you go. We are in arena. First thing to show off is the big time firepower potential of the Vermont, and there you go. That Yamato never had a chance. That's 50,000 damage off the board just on a single salvo from all those Citadel hits. And then, you know, I did kind of talk about bow tanking when we were checking out the armor view. So here is a perfect opportunity to see how well the Vermont holds up from its counterpart in the tech tree, the legendary tier Ohio. So we're going to start bow tanking the Ohio. We're just going to continue to go forward and see how we do here. And I am on fire, so this is bad news, and this may negate any armor protection I may have from armor-piercing shells on the bow, and this is doing most of the damage right here. So in this particular example, bow tanking did not really work out as well as I had hoped, but nonetheless, I thought it was worthwhile to check out an actual demonstration of bow tanking here with the Vermont. So we're not really going to last much longer here. The Ohio is wisely backing up because I probably would have rammed him if I could, especially at this point. And I probably would have taken him out, actually, even though I've got such a low amount of hit points in my hit pool here, only 1,108. And I am kind of going toward the island to try to get a little bit of cover, I guess you can say. We are getting some minor secondary hits, and there you go, we are gone. We never really had a chance is what I'm going to say. Here is an example of the mega armor capability and potential of the Vermont. So here I am broadside against 2 Grosser firsts, But how else are you going to check out what kind of armor you have and what kind of armor broadsides you can withstand? And we don't withstand much right there, and we get taken out really quick. So do not go broadside against the big time battleships. Here is another example. All these examples here are in the most recent arena season. I believe it was Arena 23. And this is how slow the Vermont is. You just cannot get out of your way. In a normal battleship, a lot of times I would be able to successfully turn around and get a better angle from the potential of these battleships here, but I just never really had a chance. Kind of a dumb maneuver to move around like that and try to get around, but still I thought it was kind of worthwhile to show the potential for the red team. If you show your broadside, you will definitely get taken out. Here is the one big time highlight that I did have in arena, and a lot of my matches here in arena were 1 versus 3, and it seemed like a lot of times everybody was hunting down the Vermont. Well, here in this particular match, the Vermont did the hunting and was not the hunted. So here against the Montana, I'm being very careful. I'm only at 1/4 speed. I don't really want to give him much of the broadside at this point. And so we got 4 ricochets and 1 penetration there, and it looks like he is he is going broadside. So thank God for that. And I am trying to mind my angle to his broadside, but it looks like he's going more broadside than I am. So yeah, so there is a Citadel hit and another major hit. We get 3 penetrations, and I'm now starting to turn back over toward the Montana. We get another 10,000 there, and he is still basically broadside, it looks like. And yeah, I have hit a full stop and full reverse, but you can see the momentum of the ship just keeps moving. Now that I see that he's turning in, I am powering back up. And what my plan is here is to do an in-close broadside salvo against the Montana using a technique I saw. I don't know if you can say I learned it, but I first saw it on the legendary T-Bowls channel. And basically what you do is when you get in close to your opponent and you're within like 2 kilometers or so, do not hit the L2 button and do the aim down sight thing. Do not do this. Stay at this zoomed out view and just hit the fire button, the R2 button. And it seems like the shells are, here you go, check this out. It seems like the shells are much more devastating when you don't zoom in. And I know this sounds a lot like I should be resetting my commander, but I have just noticed that when you don't zoom in and you're in close like this, you get completely devastating results like what you just saw. And within a couple minutes, 4 minutes here, we're up to 104,000. So 3 minutes have transpired, and I've chased down another of the 3 battleships. And here's a fully health Yamato, and he gets obliterated with 2 Citadel hits from a broadside, and he's still basically broadside here. So now I'm going to take a chance that my guns can reload quicker than his, and here you go on the second salvo, and he is almost done with 2 Citadel hits, 2 more Citadel hits, and you can see we are up to 7 Citadel hits in this particular match. So 1 last Citadel hit will finish this guy off, and we are going to go back to port basically. As it turns out, I was unable to chase down the last remaining battleship here in the last 6 minutes. I didn't even want to go chase him down. I stayed near the base, and it turns out when you look at the team results here that the last remaining battleship was AFK, and 203,000 damage. That's pretty good. So he was AFK, and basically what happened is I think he saw that it was 3-on-1, and he said, forget it, I'm out of here. Here you can see we got 4669 XP here on this match, and that is a pretty good score. I've seen some people with 5,000 XP, but 46 100 XP is awesome, so I will take it, and that is my highlight for the Vermont. And it has devastating firepower potential, as you saw, is very slow maneuvering, and watch out if you go broadside. Well, this is the Jaguar, and I'll see you on the high seas. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe if you like it.